Hi guys, welcome back to another episode with We Perceive as We Are. Today's episode, we are blessed with the presence of, our reoccurring guest and co-host Tintswalo, as well as a new guest, her cousin plus our good friend Nana. So I'll give her a short time to introduce herself.
Hi guys, I'm Nana from PHB and I'm 16 years old. Thank you. I'm done.
Okay, that's
Hello, I
from
come
Nana.
back.
And there you have Tintswalo. Today's episode, we'll be touching into, okay, I wouldn't call it like a specific topic, but the title is you don't want a relationship, you want to be touched. How we got here is some people, I feel, in my peers and our peers, we tend to drift towards a relationship, not for the basis of relationship, for hormones. And I think the feelings get confusing. So I feel like that's kind of what we're going to be talking about. So who wants to start?
I have a question to kick off this discussion.
Yeah.
At what age did you truly know what a relationship was? Let's start there.
That's a good one.
Can I start? Because I feel like my answer is probably the shortest. Personally, I don't. I don't know. I've never experienced like an actual proper relationship. I haven't even been in one, so I don't know.
But what's your understanding of a relationship?
My understanding of relationship now, honestly, I feel like it depends on the person and how they feel or like how they would think of relationship. Because for me being in a relationship with someone is like me being able to truly feel, comfortable and safe with someone. I'd say that's a big thing in being in a relationship.
But then, dude, that can happen with a friend though.
True, but then I feel like when you're with like a person who you're in a romantic relationship with, it's a different type of comfortability than when you're with just friends.
True.
Yeah. Is that intimacy? Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, Nana, at what age did you think or did you know what a relationship was?
Guys, honestly, with me, I feel like it was this year actually. Cause okay, like the past few years, I wouldn't say I was like in relationships. It was just we were playing,
Yeah.
and then like now we got to actually know the true meaning of a relationship, which actually includes, just like you said, comfortability, honesty, commitment, respect, and like a relationship can be a relationship without intimacy. Just like you said, that people like nowadays, ne, you actually get into a relationship without actually wanting a relationship. So
Yes, so you're gonna hit, smash and hit.
exactly, exactly.
Or you get those people who literally get in a relationship for the sake of saying that they're in a relationship.
Yeah,
Not
just
good.
because everybody else is in the relationship. Joel is like such a prize
Exactly.
nowadays. People don't
That's
care.
how things are these days. That's how things are these days. People get in a relationship because okay, I'm gonna go with serious relationships because like nowadays people be in relationships because their peers are in a relationship and your friend is in a relationship, so you're gonna want to
Fit in or peer pressure.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, peer pressure is definitely.
And it's not just that. People also want the nice things that quote unquote come with a relationship.
They want the pros without thinking about the cons.
Like oh, there's someone
That's me.
someone who has good morning and good night text, and someone who can give you hugs and kisses. Guys, in order for those things to happen, things need to be built up. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel people. Joel is like, I feel Joel and relationship is not the same thing. I've said this before, and the reason I say this, ne, is because Joel is more of like, what do they call it? The fantasy thing when you're still like in love with the idea of the person, and you haven't really gotten to know them with all of the bad plus the good. It's just like the idea, the fun part of the relationship. What do they call it?
Honeymoon.
The honeymoon phase, yeah.
The honeymoon phase.
Joel
No,
is just a prolonged honeymoon phase.
I get what you're saying now, but me personally, I feel like Joel is the relationship that you get in, not because you want to be with a person, but for the sake of just being in a relationship. Like it's that peer pressure relationship where you're not even that happy or feel like you truly want to be with this
But then
person,
you're
but
just doing it for the
you're just
sake
doing
of
it
saying
there
that I'm in a relationship.
for the sake of doing it. Whereas a relationship would be you fully telling yourself, good, no man, I actually want to commit to this person. Like I'm fully simping for this person.
Yeah. I get that, but it depends, because I know people who enter a relationship because they like the idea. You know, when you have a girlfriend, the girlfriend's gonna kiss you, the girlfriend's gonna show you attention, all of that jazz. But you don't think about the mental strain of relationship, but you just like the niceness. But then there's also the type where you get into it just because everybody else is into it. I found myself in that place where I was like, yo guys, I want a relationship. And I was like, no, but do I really? Or I'm just hearing all the good stuff people are telling me, and that's what I want.
Yeah, cause same, genuinely same. Cause like really, okay, relationship wise, I've been going through like a lot of introspection, right? And I've realized I really don't want a relationship, but I want, like the perks that come with being in a relationship.
Yeah.
Like those moments where you're just bored and feel like you want to cuddle with someone. I want to be able to do that, but then I don't actually want to be in a relationship. I just want to have that person to be able to cuddle with.
Guys, why is asking for intimacy from your friends not normal? Imagine how many people would not be in relationships if they could ask for intimacy, not even just from your friends, but from your
But then I feel like from your friend, like actually asking intimacy from your friend, because like there are people who don't have flop with it. Okay, you guys can like do it, but then how you guys look at each other's eyes tomorrow?
No, I feel like I understand
it depends on the
that.
person.
It depends on how close you are with that friend. Because with y'all, I will freaking sleep on top of you. I don't care a damn. But then I have other friends who, we're not as close. So that type of intimacy is just awkward.
I also think like emotional security is also a very important part in it, because you know that, okay, I feel this type of way about this person and it's solidified and it probably won't change if so and so happens. But then if you're vulnerable and there, some weak spaces in your emotional presence or your emotional stability, not even stability, your emotional status with that person. If it can be changed so easily, maybe it wouldn't be a good idea. But if you know, okay, that's my friend and that's gonna stay my friend no matter what happens, we could kiss, make out, whatever, that's my friend. But you know that with another person, you could go up to them and even just look at them in a certain type of way and feelings could merge. So if you don't have that emotional security, it may be.
Guys, can you make out with a friend and still be a friend?
It depends on the friend.
It depends on the friend.
It really depends on the friend.
No, but I'm talking about yourself.
But then, okay, with me, okay, I wouldn't say, okay, I would. With me, I would.
That you yourself, not like on the friend. Let's say you have a friend where you know where you can do whatever, and they will always see you as a friend. But could you, within yourself, go to another person like that and not develop some sort of connection like that?
I can confidently say that I can.
So with me,
because in general, I'm just not really a person that catches feelings. So yeah.
So with me, no. Why, guys? I catch a lot. So if I know what, if let me just say I be intimate with my friend. Actually, if I be intimate with my friend, I'll actually end up falling for the person, and let me just say we'll grieve. We'll give like you will give our thing a chance. We actually get to like date or whatsoever, and then things are gonna end, because things always end. And then the friendship is
But then I
over.
feel like that's when you bring out like, okay, like the topic of today's video, nah? When you're saying, do you want to be in a relationship or you just want to be like touched or whatever? Because then if you catch a feeling just because you made out with this person, then that's just horny teenager things. Like you don't actually want to be in a relationship with this person. You didn't actually catch feelings. It's just you're touch deprived or whatever.
But then, okay, there's also those situations, where you're friends with somebody, and that person is the type of person that you would be in a relationship, but you're just not because you're friends. Like personality, looks aside, personality, they're consistent, they communicate, they're vulnerable, everything that you'd want in a person, their looks and everything. But the only thing stopping you is that it started platonic and it's probably going to end platonic. And it's more of like, okay, I know that this is my friend, but if I'm gonna kiss you and you're all of that stuff, I may forget that, or like it may be fogged up by other things, because you really can't control emotion like that. You cannot.
Exactly.
True.
Nah, for me, any friend that I'm willing to, I can tell you it's a friend I'm willing to date.
No.
No, no, listen, I'm talking about in the sense of when I have this thing. I think I've said it in one of the episodes before. But I have this thing that when I get new friends or new people in my life, if I'm single, ne, I'll kind of like assess where you fall into the category of my friends. Do you fall into those friends that I could get with, or do you fall into the friends that I can't get with? Because there's a very distinct line.
I feel like it's dangerous having friends that you would fuck with, because it's not really your friend, like your friend.
You guys are just using each other.
You're keeping them around for potential, friends with benefits
Exactly.
things.
You just give it.
No, honestly, no.
It's for your own benefit.
I don't do that. I feel like with me, ne, if it's gonna happen like that, I'd have to. It's always gonna start off platonically. We're always gonna start off as friends, because I'm not gonna freaking see someone randomly off the street or like become friends with someone one day out of nowhere, and then after like a few days of knowing this person, feel like, I'd fuck with you like that. No. I feel like I need to give myself the time to actually get to know this person first. But then
I get that.
But then if that's the case, then already I'm deep enough to either say, no, you are either just a friend or I actually like you, like it's a crush, not some like, friends with benefits type of things. Because then at that point, I know you now. Like I've been with you. You are close, you're one of my people now. So yeah, man. I don't think there's like in between thing.
Even when it comes to people that I would like outside platonic people that I would quote unquote mess with, I'd want to be a friend for anything. The thing, dating strangers is not also a thing that I would do. I have to know you enough to be your friend in order to get to do anything with you. Whether that's just friends with benefits, messing with you, a situationship, I gotta get you to at least a friendship level before I can jump to anywhere else.
But you see, I wanna comment on that. A lot of people don't have that, guys. A lot of people on the street, can you be my girl? On the street.
Bruh.
Dude, like where is
Really out of
where,
pocket.
exactly, like people can do that. Like someone can like just meet you today and be like, okay, you know what, I like you, and actually the whole nervous of someone telling you that I love you. First day they know you, I love you.
Let me tell you, I once got approached by 3 different guys on the same day at the exact same time, man. All of them wanted me, but then the one ended up becoming a wingman for the other one and completely left the third one out. And then when I tell you this person was monologuing other Shakespearean type of things for their friend when they both wanted me. Madness.
That's teamwork.
No, guys,
That's teamwork.
I don't even know.
Teamwork makes the dream work. Makes the dream work, y'all. But I think it really depends on intention, because people's intention when it comes to relationships are so different, and I don't think that's a thing that's spoken enough. That okay, when it comes to number one, dating in school, dating young, you don't really think about what's gonna be in the relationship or what's the point of the relationship. As you're saying, it's just a relationship. That's all you want, right? Would be going into the relationship because their intention is for love or for comfort or for vulnerability, while the other person is just looking for hormones, touch, and kissing and whatever. So it really depends on.
I feel like in that type of situation,
we have to be like clear with each other. So
yeah,
like,
you
look,
need to be on
I
the
don't want a
same
relationship,
page.
but then we can do anything.
Exactly. Because I feel like, but then that's tricky. Because then you could start off at the same page, but then the next time someone catches, and then it's
That's what I'm saying. That as people, we need to like we need to be like clear with each other. Like, okay, look,
so it needs to be normalized much more than it is, right?
But then again, going back to that, like, that thing where like I have to become a friend with the person first before I like do anything with them. I feel like it can be difficult sometimes when it comes to that, because you're gonna like now be friends with this person, and then even if you would wanna do some shit with them, it's like it's scary, because then now you're like actually friends with this person, and then you don't wanna change that like friend dynamic.
Yeah, it's different from like friendship to relationship, because people change. I feel it's weird that okay, you could know one person as a friend, and if you get into a non-platonic situation with them, everything you knew about them as a friend is different.
Because like a person in a relationship versus a person as your friend is two different people. Not completely and not always, it's not always the case, but a lot of the time, like it's two different people.
Yeah, true. Like I know I'm two different people when it comes to. I haven't been in a relationship like that, but I know for a fact I would not be the same.
No, but guys, can you talk about that? The honest switch. Like Nana, as for the two people in relationships, right?
Yeah.
Them. But tell me, do people not tell you that you change when you're talking to your girl or when you're interacting with your girl?
They always do. Like they say I'm like more, let me just say I humble myself when I talk to her. Cause like
But
they
like,
say,
if it wasn't the
like
same thing, what would be the point?
if it wasn't for what?
If it was the same thing, there would be no point in it.
True.
Because some people are like this with their friends to the point where they don't even need a relationship because they get that intimacy, they get the love, they get all of that from the friendship. They don't need to go and get like an external source of it. So I feel like the intention in the relationship, because guys, nowadays intentions are not pure. It's most of the time it's run on hormones. It's not run on common sense or logic or I like this and this and this and this about you. It's I think you're cute and
And that's
like
it.
getting excited by just looking at you. That's why I want you.
That's why I think now sometimes when people get into relationships with each other, I honestly they I don't think that they get in relationships with each other like unless they've known each other for a while, nah. Then I genuinely don't think you got into a relationship because you like each other. It's just because like at that point in time in both your lives you were very lustful for each other, but you didn't like each other. You
True.
get
Now,
me?
I've also found myself in a situation, I wouldn't say a relationship, but I would say a situation where the two of us, where we, it's like, it's just a lot of stuff going on in the beginning, either mentally in the moment, and then we get into it. Once we're in it and your mind has been cleared from all of that emotion, all of that hormones, you're like, what am I doing? Like, why am I here?
Exactly.
It's a bit.
No, but guys, honestly, are we ever taught as people who are going into these hormones how to handle them? Why not?
No, I don't think I've ever been
Taught
thought
You know
about
what?
that.
Do you know
anything.
what? It isn't even about like just how to handle them. It's about how to differentiate certain feelings.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I'm gonna meet people, ne? And you're like, do I like this person? Or is it a friend crush? As in like a, oh no, I need to be friends with you, but I don't like you like that, but I want to be friends with you. But
No.
then
And
you can't differentiate those feelings. So then you're like, what am I feeling?
yeah. And it's even worse if you're like, personally for me, it was worse.
I love how Wesa is just now in the Gen Z vocabulary by force, by fire. Anything.
But honestly, for me, it was worse or worse because when I was like 12, 13, in society, all my friends were always getting boyfriends and stuff like that. Then I feel like I wanted a girlfriend. But you can't, a lot of the time, you can't say that because you're seen as the weak one. So,
Mm,
Mina, I was always boyfriend, boyfriend, boyfriend. And then you're not taught that, okay, sometimes you can like a girl. Like, personally, I got lucky that when I realized, okay, I like girls, my mom was like, all right, bet, and moved as if it wasn't
A big deal.
mm.
a big deal. Yeah. But other than that, in my head, with my friends and stuff like that, it was never a conversation.
Exactly. Like
It was
now
never.
with us, okay, I wouldn't say us specifically, but then with us it's an issue because we never get taught about actually having to like girls because apparently it's a demon.
Yeah, it's a demon. Like, oh no, man, you're gonna go to hell because, oh, because you
Yes.
know what we're being
It's
told,
it's a
right?
sin
They
to
say,
like a girl.
they say, we're being, what's it?
Possessed.
No, being manipulated by media
Yes.
and the trends of nowadays into thinking these things are okay. That's what we're being told. You get me?
Guys, and imagine how traumatizing that is for a child who's going through adolescence, hormone changes. All your friends around you get to say no. They talk about their crushes and everything.
Like
And
you're the
then
weird one. You're
exactly and you're there like ish.
Like as if you as like the young person, who's like realizing all of these new things about yourself, right? you don't know, you're still figuring out who you are, and then now you've got this like pressure being put on you that's basically like no, because of the way you are and because of the gender of people that you like, you're now condemned to hell. When
Yeah.
it's so
When you
much
didn't have
pressure.
control of those feelings in the first place. When you first with your peers and everything, you're like, oh, I think so and so is cute. I think so and so. And then you don't really necessarily feel that. You're like, am I the problem? Like, why am I not seeing what they're seeing?
Okay, so yeah, you're gonna be caught up in a situation where, let me just say, I'm with my friends and they're gonna be talking about their crushes, ne? And I'm there like quiet, and then they're gonna be like, nigga, why are you quiet? And okay, I wouldn't say I wouldn't have a thingy, an explanation to why I'm quiet, but then the other reason is gonna be because I don't actually find interest in what they are talking about and stuff. Okay, I wouldn't say no. But then yeah, because we're different people, like we're just different people living in two different worlds where we like different things. Me. So like yeah, don't make the comment like that.
No, I catch. Personally, for me, the way that my peers and my friends even used to talk about crushes, because Mina, because I like both girls and guys, I could always get involved. But the thing is, the way they spoke about it, like their whole world resolves around their
Boys.
crushes.
Eyes, yes, yes.
For
Yes.
me,
Like I can.
my weird part is okay. It's not like I wouldn't say it's not it's as much of like a heavy thing as the bi thing and the LGBTQ. Nah, but when it comes to how people work with their crushes, you know what I mean? The hierarchy about how guys are all this. I'm talking about from my girlfriends, right? How the obsession over guys and crushing was concerning. I'm like, hold up, wait, like
Right.
who's chasing who in this calculation? I mean, who's
Exactly.
chasing who in this situation?
No, I feel like now one of the better ways to handle crushes is just like letting them be. Like I know one of my best crush having experiences is when I was a kid, right? We used to visit Ukokolozi, my great grandmother, before she passed away. We used to visit her a lot in Joburg, right? And we had this neighbor, because we were like staying in these like, I'm not gonna call them flats, but they're like rooms, sort of, and they're like right next to each other. So one of my neighbors was also one of my friends, and I used to like him. I used to have a crush on him, and he used to also have a crush on me. And everyone knew that we liked each other. It was not really a secret. We were not trying to hide it. Even our parents knew. But like everyone knew, ne? But we never did anything. It was just a fact that was known, but no one ever like actually did anything about it. And I feel like that's a healthy way, especially for children, to handle like crushes. Like but you don't do anything about it. You just let it be. And as time goes on, maybe it can develop and mature and become into a relationship. But then, I feel like it's giving, if it's done and handled like that, it gives the children space to be able to properly process how they feel about this person without the pressures of like,
Of
no,
course,
now I have to be with this person.
Exactly. So with
that
me, I once had a crush. Okay, like there's this other guy, me, back in when was it? Grade seven, yeah, grade seven. There was this other guy. Like he was liked by almost like every girl in school liked him. So I was actually under pressure where I also got to like the guy. And then only to find out that I like girls. But then I like this nigga for like fucking 3 years. 3 years, but then felt though. I liked him because other girls liked him, and I was under that pressure with see. So if I don't like him, and they're gonna be talking about him, and then I'm
Or
gonna
like
be
you're
there
gonna be
like
the black sheep if you don't like
exactly.
him.
So
but then
I
on that end, no, just a note that when you're talking about kids and how crushes are handled, ne, when
Mm.
boys tease you, it's because they like you. That's still weird for me.
That's toxic, I feel like. Like, okay,
Yeah.
in some situations, if they treat you differently, but
Mm.
not specifically when they tease you, but if they treat you differently,
mm,
and even then, it can be when they're teasing you, but it's a specific type of teasing. Not like
Mm.
the bullying teasing.
Guys, boys must be taught a different way.
No, but then even as girls, ne, what I experienced, what I said was weird for me, ne, with crushes. Like, okay, this guy is cute. He's looking at you a certain type of way. But now it would be of a more of a thing. People would like skip class to go and chase this guy, wake up an extra hour to get ready. I mean, that type of vibes.
No,
Hey,
there's no way you're gonna let a small little one affect your life that much.
People do
No,
that.
listen. No, but listen, it happens. Mina, I'm telling you that it happens. I'm telling you guys, Mina, here this opinion I have of mine where girls fall into an obsession with a guy. It's a very easy thing to do, and society promotes it. It's a very easy thing to do, and society promotes it. Ah, falling into an obsession with a guy. I don't know if I'm the only one, guys. Honestly, now society
No,
would say,
but you know what? Now I feel like one of the reasons why girls would like so quickly become obsessed with guys, more specifically, it's gonna be like guys who liked them and they didn't at first like the guy, but then they found out that the guy liked them. So then now they say that they like the guy. Then the guy is now disinterested, but the girl is full on obsessed. Not because she actually likes the guy, but because she seeks the validation from the guy.
the guy liking her, yeah.
exactly. That's what I mean by society promotes it. Because this whole thing of he fell first, but she fell harder.
Mm.
How? Guys, no, like, honestly, and it's funny because guys don't understand that when a girl, not all guys, let's not generalize like that.
Yeah.
Ne? Some guys, and these are most guys that have not experienced relationships as well,
Or
right?
like healthy ones.
Oh, haven't experienced healthy relationships in their lives, in society, in their own relationships, ne? A lot of the time, those same guys are the same guys that would go and tell a girl that she needs to be treated better and then treat her worse than the past one.
Yo, I know.
Guys, relationships nowadays, just in Gen Z, in like general, are very weird, ne? I mean, very weird. That's why I don't participate, and the reason I don't participate, it's because people, they don't know what a relationship is, and I frankly don't think they care. Like,
Mhm.
because they'll walk up to you, be like, okay, now I want you. Now I want you. And you could ask a simple question onto why. And the thing is, they will say anything that will get you into the relationship. But as you're going back to, once they're in the relationship, the point of the relationship was the relationship itself, not
Yeah.
anything deeper than that.
And then they'll go to words when they're trying to convince us, I like you're different. You're hot, you're pretty.
Exactly.
You're not the same as them other girls.
It's not, I feel like there's no basis, there's no like the truthfulness in it. And I mean the truth, it's really
Lacking.
boring. It's lacking. I don't even have the words
But
for it.
even in that, guys, what is so it about you're not like other girls? What's so wrong with
What's the hype with that? Really, I am not the other girls. I'm not
like
gonna be like them.
But then,
No, but
guys, like, have anyone actually got to touch the thing here, the topic of people are actually getting to like, okay, people are actually dating girls now because they see it as a trend, not
Yeah,
exactly.
that's true. Like, okay, I understand exploring your sexuality because that's you should be able to give yourself the chance to try new things before you set on a certain mindset. But
yeah,
when you do it just for like the sake of it being like the current trend, that's just so wrong. Especially because then you're gonna like probably be doing it with girls who are actually just trying to figuring or guys who are actually just trying to figure themselves out. But then when you're just doing it because now I'm seeing everybody else do it, and then that could really mess with their perspective of how they think people like them, but also of like relationships.
Exactly, because you can like now ask a girl that just started dating girls who would say, okay, why I like how did you discover that you like girls or why are you dating girls? And the person is just gonna be like, I just like girls because I like girls.
Oh, that line of, yo, no, I'm tired of boys.
Hey, I'm tired of
Guys, no,
boys.
it's not about the boy, it's about the person.
but wait, I feel this
You are
ties
messed up by the person. It doesn't matter the gender. You will still get messed up by another person, even if that person is a girl.
Cause trust me, girls had more.
Girls break it.
No, but I agree, guys. Like liking girls or being queer in a sense has been
Mhm.
genderized,
Or
right?
it has been, it's been glamorized
Feel
in a
like
way. And most things, as it leads into a bigger conversation, which I feel needs to be had, I mean, like,
mhm.
reality is being morphed into the internet. I mean, from the internet. I mean, like, your ideas or what you feel like you're thinking, you're not actually thinking, it's the trends. As you're saying, people are dating a certain type of person because that's what they're seeing in the media. For instance, I've
Exactly.
seen people like, decrease and increase in value prices, just like stock. These light skin in stock in one season, these dark skin in stock, bad boys, good girls. It's just depending on what's trending at that moment, and that's who
It's
you are. And
yes, it's
still,
weird because it kind of feels like they're turning into like a hive mind of a sort. You
it
know,
is. And have you ever like looked at somebody and like, oh, they're cute, but then you step back like, no, do I think they're cute, or is it like because everybody is like, oh no,
it's like that's
light
what I'm
skin,
seeing.
yes.
Everybody else saying is cute. Also, when it comes to this thing of sexuality, like I understand it being a trend and it's being normalized and whatever. Like, and I agree it should be normalized, but for probably for better reasons, honestly. But I feel like
Yeah.
a thing that needs to be spoken about is the sexualities, okay, the discrimination of sexuality in genders. Now, when I say that, I'm saying girls being with girls is normalized and is seen as okay, mostly because people fetishize it, but it's seen as more normal than when a guy is with a guy. Then that's like you're gay in like the insulting way. And I feel like that is
Yeah.
so,
Okay, people are
it's a
gonna be like,
discrimination.
it's the same thing. People are gonna be like, girls date girls because the girl is scared of dick, and then they're gonna be like, a guy is dating a guy because I don't know. With girls, it's a
Yeah.
different.
Guys,
It's a different
because
story.
sexual. When you see a girl, it's like, oh, best friend vibes, da, 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 you could do it in fun. It's more of like a party trick. Most of the time I've seen it, people walking around with their girlfriends and they're like, kiss, I want to see. What do you mean? Like, I mean, it's weird in that way versus as you were saying, guy versus a guy. It's hard for people and for majority of media and whatever to be on some, okay, that's cute, that's something, because that's not as sexualized, not as normalized, and it's being normalized on the wrong basis. I do agree with that.
I understand what you're saying though, and I feel like this is like a thing that does need to be not okay, it needs to be addressed at least. Like
Yeah.
it
No,
needs
but
to be
listen,
brought up so that more people are
but
aware of it. Because
brought
it is
up.
really such a big thing and
No,
it
it
really
is brought.
frustrates me.
It is brought up. I feel like in the sense of it needs to be brought up amongst our peers
Mm.
because these are conversations that are being had. Let's be honest, guys. These are such big issues. These can't be conversations that aren't being had. These are
Hmm.
conversations that are being had. It's just that people don't know about them a lot of the time.
And it's just people don't want to change the reality,
True.
because think about it. If you want to look at it, or as well, if people had to see it like making it normal, that means, as I was saying, that girl to girl is normalized due to it being sexualized. So people think to normalize it, you need to sexualize it. So that's why it's probably not going to happen, especially let's say for the male gender. And we're talking about
Hmm.
our peers, Gen Z, with Andrew Tate, trending and all of that is not what's going to happen, because I feel like you just need to respect. You don't really necessarily need to understand for it to be normalized. So people think that, okay, now if I'm seeing a girl like this and it's okay and it kind of arouses me in a way, for me to normalize that, I need to see a guy and guy like that. And it's probably not going to happen if people keep seeing it that way.
Hmm.
Okay, with me, okay, let me just add up to the thing. Okay, I have a friend, so she's like, okay, I'm gonna say, okay, I once asked her, actually, she never like had a thing with a girl, and then now she has a thing with a girl, and then they got to like be intimate on the first day,
Mhm.
so like now, this other day I was like, so have you figured out your gender yet? Like, are you thinking?
Sexuality.
Yes, yeah, sorry about that. And then I was like, are you bi? And then she was like, no, I'm not bi. I'm just having fun with girls. Like, I'm just, like, just like you said, you don't want a
Yeah.
relationship. You want to be intimate.
Hmm.
Exactly. So like she's like doing things with girls for the sake of, I want the fun of it, not actually because I'm actually like interested in the girl and
Yeah, because it's viewed as it's a toy. It's more of like an
Mm,
object. The emotion, the
very.
intimacy is taken out of it.
And also, I feel like Lulu, agreeing with what you said earlier about like for things to be normalized, they need to be sexualized, right? But
Yeah.
like also coming full circle to the like main topic or the original topic of this, the thing of like relationships, when people get in relationships sometimes, like sometimes it is because yeah, they want to be in a relationship, they genuinely like this person, they like each other, but they feel that in order for the relationship to work they need to be physical because
Yeah.
that's what is shown as normal in our society,
No,
and
on that,
in our generation especially, they're like, no man, you've been dating this girl for how long and you still haven't hit, like
yeah, it's
that.
boring. And they say, oh no, you're a flop, you're a simp. I feel you're right. That is an important note when it comes in that now, in order to be in a relationship and for your relationship to be proper and not for you to be quote unquote playing like kids and all of that, you're pressured to be intimate with the person, even though it's not normally about okay how you guys feel in the relationship. It's after 3 months if you haven't kissed yet, you're weird.
Bruh, like
Because
no, people, they don't need to be rushed in order to get physical. Like if
mm,
you do it, if you and your partner are like comfortable to do it as soon as you get together, that's y'all. But then there's other people who take time when it comes to them having to get physical with people,
true,
But that
and some
doesn't mean.
relationships don't need to be purely based on like intimacy and I mean by
Mhm.
I
Or
mean
like
passion,
the
not
physical intimacy.
contact. And what I mean intimacy could be holding hands, intimacy could be hugging, intimacy could be eye contact, quality
Mm-hmm.
time, love languages. That is aside from, I think what we're talking about. What I'm talking about is what is normalized now when I could say in our generation, in our friend group, in our peer type of circle, it's okay now. It's about kissing, making out, hooking up. That whole
Mm.
culture is more anything than like, okay, if you get into a relationship and all you're doing is talking and whatever, it's not a quote unquote relationship in society's eyes. It's a
Mm-hmm.
friendship. That's what I'm saying. It really, for me, what differentiates them is intention, because I feel like a relationship type of intimacy type of vibe is not the same as a friendship because there's that different level. But in order to reach that level of, like, I'm talking about aside from physical things, I don't think you necessarily to hook up or kiss a person to get to that level. But it also depends on your intention in the relationship. Each to their own,
Mm.
I guess.
True.
But then one thing, people can be like, let me just say, you can be in a relationship with someone, but then let me just say, okay, you're in a relationship with someone for like a whole year. But then you guys can be like can be in a healthy relationship, happy whatsoever, and still not like being like still not
Be
be
physical.
exactly. Like you guys can do everything else, but then not have sex.
But there's people who do that
Exactly. But
genuinely.
then in our generation, if you're gonna be in a relationship with someone, let me just say for 3 months, and then you don't hit, you're full. Like they're just gonna be
Like they
talking.
think you're weird.
Exactly.
Like no, it's so wrong.
Like,
Especially because there's like I understand, yeah, we're teenagers, hormones, whatever, but then again, dog, we're still teenagers. Slow
mm,
down,
We still need to
calm,
learn. We still need to
breathe.
process everything else,
true.
and like
Like
There's
we
a
do not have
rush.
to be rushing like
Yes, I
this.
mean, like, I understand wanting to explore. I'm not gonna say, yeah, guys, don't do anything. Keep your whatever
exactly.
to you, that's fine, eh? But I feel
Hmm.
with all this rush, with all of this peer pressure, things important like, let's say, safety. The way kissing has become the new hugging, safety has kind of diminished in that point. Be like, okay, you
Hmm.
can't. It's kissing anyone at the roof. Guys, there's mouth herpes. Don't do
Bruh,
that.
dude, like remember the things that you've learned in LO. Come on. Those pictures that traumatized us, let them pop into
Think
your
about it.
mind when you do
If
things.
peer pressure is such a thing, if everybody's telling you to do it, that means
Mm.
everybody's touching each other. So that means, guys, there's something there. Just take that common sense and think about it, guys.
Like,
Exactly.
okay, it's okay, nah. if you personally feel like you're ready to be doing physical things with other people, now let that be a time where you really sit with yourself and you think about that and you decide for yourself that yes, okay, I'm ready. But then now when you're like, nah, man, I have to, because now everybody, all of my friends have had their first kiss already, and I'm the only one who hasn't. Nah,
Yeah, I
that
feel
is
like
the.
think about your reasonings onto doing it. Like before you step into, let's say you're still in the phase that you need to get your first kiss. From there, and nowadays it can escalate so quickly. So before
Dude,
you even go there, you should ask yourself, am I the one who wants the kiss? Or is it just because everybody's telling me that it's the time? You could be
exactly.
27 without your first kiss and you'll be okay just because you're
Mhm.
not ready. But the fact that now it's weird by everybody else is a thing. And the thing is, you'll get teased. You will get teased. I'm not gonna say it's gonna be easy getting away from it because if everybody is galavanting, you're gonna wanna galavant.
Yeah, like I'm not
Exactly.
like
You're gonna want to fit in.
Okay, I understand
Yeah,
gallivanting. I can understand gallivanting and trying out new things and all of that. But then at the same time, like know your limits and know your boundaries. Or if you don't have boundaries, set boundaries for yourself
yeah.
and know your
Before you get
limits.
into that thing, I said
Because I
starting
can
from like
understand, okay, like, okay, you're like, okay, you know what, maybe I wouldn't mind trying a little double into this and day, but like set limits for yourself. No, would see, okay,
know
I'm
where you
definitely not
end
okay with this
your
happening, and then I'd be okay with this happening, you know?
line. Because it can escalate very quickly. Because if you don't know, if you say, okay, if I'm gonna end it at kissing, and kissing
Mm-hmm.
as in pecking, and that's where you're gonna end, sure, if I know that. But if you just walk in and you walked in by anybody else's guide, you're gonna do what everybody else tells you.
and you'll end up in trouble. You'll end up
Exactly.
guys like personally, Mina, one thing I can like when I tell people I'm in a long distance relationship, people are like, how do y'all survive?
Mm.
Yeah, how can
Exactly.
you
Like
do it? Don't you wanna be near this person? What happens during winter?
Guys, I'm not gonna lie, being in a long distance relationship, it kind of teaches you to build up
Things other than
trust
yeah.
and yeah.
build up
Mm-hmm.
other places where the physicalness cannot come in, because we
True.
don't spend time in space, ne? When we do
Mm-hmm.
spend time with each other, we cherish it.
Communication is
Communication is a
stronger.
big thing.
Exactly. And I feel like it really gives you the chance to actually learn how to appreciate when you are together, you know,
Mm.
or like it strengthens like the feeling that you feel when you are together. Because when you're far away now, like okay, you're building your relationship and you're working on everything else in a relationship aside from like, the things that you'd have to do when you are physically with each other, ne? But then when you are able to physically be near each other and
Mm.
simple things like holding their hands can bring so much joy to your heart just because of the love that has been given the chance to grow properly without the pressures of feeling like there needs to be physical touch involved there for you to feel that love.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, and
Oh, perfect.
as beautiful
Mm.
as it is, I can say that it sucks ass. Yep. I can
I
say
can
with
get that.
breath that it
No,
definitely
but
sucks
let
ass.
me tell you something now. It's like what I said about chocolate the other day. I'm gonna get some chocolate, right? I'm gonna eat the chocolate and I'm gonna enjoy the chocolate and then I'm gonna want more chocolate. But I don't have any more chocolate. But then it helps me learn to appreciate the next time that I can get
No,
chocolate.
Exactly.
still,
Learning the
still.
best in it. Okay, I understand, guys. It's easy to say it, but you all know it's difficult to live in that
True.
reality, having to deal with it.
That's true,
Right?
especially because I'm not speaking from personal experience here. I'm
Yeah.
speaking from logistics.
No, but the thing is, Nick, guys, with the long distance, it's I feel like one of the hardest parts, it depends on how often you can see each other within that
Mhm.
appreciation. You know, that's an important aspect. With me and my person, we're like half the country, guys, 12, 13 hours away from each other.
Yeah.
So we don't really get the chance. We haven't seen each other yet. So
Mhm.
it's a little bit more difficult. I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change my relationship with her other than the distance. Honestly. you know. But guys, distance, yo,
Bruh, distance is it's just too much stress, huh? Not gonna lie, cause
No,
it sounds painful,
it's not good
especially
for everyone. Guys, this is
exactly.
it again. Lulu said it takes communication.
Mm.
Like
Mhm.
any
And not
relationship.
just communication, but like when it comes to long distance, that takes trust and honesty too. Because you
Yeah.
can communicate, but then if you don't trust your person, it's
It's
shy.
shy.
And if you're not like honest with your person when it like you could tell people that you're cuffed, but then they don't believe you because your person lives far away. So then people are gonna like try to make moves on you. If you're not honest in telling your person that nah, these people are making moves on me, then
Yeah.
And
No.
I'm also honest in the fact of you have to be honest when, okay, babes, the distance is too much, or okay, babes, I need
mm-hmm.
more attention from you. Guys, that that is
It's
a big
important.
role.
Yeah.
It
Because
is important. Especially when you live far away. I feel like it is good to mention when you feel like you need attention.
Attention, yeah.
Because then if you don't mention it, then you're gonna feel neglected.
yeah.
And then that's like
Guys, not only in distance, that's in all relationships. I just feel like distance brings out those key points a little bit more for some people,
Mm.
in my personal experience. But in all relationships, communications like that, honesty, trust, and
mm,
communication, all of that,
Are all
respect,
necessary.
they are all
I think,
necessary.
guys, that honestly depends, man. We're talking about relationships. The title of this is like, okay, you don't want a relationship, you want to this is relationships. But then, guys, I think situationships are another thing because I don't think situationships are on the same basis as relationships. So the
they really are
situationship
not.
Yeah,
is like I want
and
to be
we don't
touched. This is
actually
the
discuss
point of
about
me
that.
getting into this
Mm,
relationship, and the word relationship has been diminished and it's lost its meaning because like I said, I feel like joy and relationship are two different things. I
mm-hmm.
feel like jolling and having a relationship and being in a relationship is two different things and two different mindsets.
Mm.
Like,
True.
for
But then at
example,
the same time, it's the same thing with like a situationship. A
yeah,
situationship and a relationship
It's
is
two
two different
different things.
things.
it's not the same thing.
And also, guys,
Sometimes if it's a job.
situationship and job.
I feel like okay, I wouldn't say a situationship and a joy is
Complicated
the same thing.
stuff, man.
It can be sometimes, but then a situationship can be something like a bit more serious. Like in the case of when I was with last year, my situationship with him was more so like I knew this person would be moving the following year, and
Mm.
so well that and because of obvious commitment issues and shit like that, we both mutually decided it would be better for us to have a form of a relationship, but not a relationship.
Mm.
Yeah, but then I feel like that situation there, that situation, part of the situationship, is different to a joy.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Guys, it's complicated. It's complicated. I think the situationship is like, okay, I want the pros of a relationship, and you want the pros of a relationship. So let's make it work without the
Without
commitment.
the cons.
It's
There's
there.
always gonna be cons.
Yeah, they're
Exactly.
always going to be cons. They are going to be cons, right? But I feel like working around them. For instance, wanting somebody constantly, but really not wanting the loyalty. That, you know what I mean, is something. Wanting somebody's attention, but not like somebody's time, but not like a relationship, as in they're on your case all the time, but then you just
Mm-hmm.
have the
But
time.
for me personally, a situationship is wanting y'all without wanting to be the cons.
I can see that. For me, I feel
Because
like a situationship. Ooh, you know what now?
mm,
Depending on how I got, okay, depending on what the situation is with the person, a situation can be something different with every person, you know?
mm,
Because you sometimes it's like that type of, it's out of circumstance more
Yeah.
so than like, and then other times it's like I want to be in a relationship, but I don't feel ready for like to commit to calling it a relationship, because then I feel like that
Yeah.
brings its own, you know,
responsibilities and commitments that I don't feel like I feel ready for. So then I say it's a
Yeah,
situationship.
labels can also be a problem. Like you're doing relationship stuff, but immediately when you say it's a relationship, it goes
Exactly.
down.
Sideways.
Like the second you put a label on it, that's when things start to become a bit like, okay, this is like a real serious thing that's actually happening. And I feel like that brings so many pressures.
It's also no, the labels. The problem with labels a lot of the time is not the label itself, but the expectations of the label.
That come with the label. That's very true.
And that's the thing, guys. Relationships only come with the expectations that you and the other person have communicated with,
Not anybody else.
not
yo.
anybody
A
else.
relationship doesn't
I feel like in
Funny,
everything
but
that you get to, like in everything that you get into, you shouldn't have expectations because you're gonna be having expectation about a certain thing and that thing doesn't happen, and you'll be like, you know what, I'm done.
with
Because
expectations,
you didn't get what you
expect
actually wanted.
I feel like when it's a type of thing where you're gonna be in a situationship or a relationship of any sort, actually, now you should definitely keep in mind that you shouldn't have a set expectation for what you think it should be.
Exactly.
yeah.
Because then
And
it's
I feel
never gonna be what you want it to be.
mm,
It could be something that you need, right?
yeah,
Or something that you didn't even know that you wanted, but it's never gonna be what you expected.
true.
Mm.
True. With me, I think when it comes to situationships, my golden rule is not to have an expectation but a standard.
Yes.
Like,
Oh,
I
and
get
do I
it.
settle? Holy
Like
shit.
a fantasy, it's more of like a dream, where a standard is more of like structure. But like, okay, this is just my boundaries. This is where it's not about to go. Type of vibes. Because guys, if you
Like a
do not have,
baseline.
it's
Settle.
very important to have a standard, to know what you want and know who you are. Because if you don't know, people can tell you, and you'll just agree.
They're gonna tell you, no, this is what you want, as if they are you. But then if you don't know yourself, then you're just gonna agree.
Exactly.
When I think it's you talking, it's very easy if you do not have your own voice in your head for somebody to become it and you not even realize it. It's easier than you think.
True, but then you know what, now I feel like the thing that I've noticed is my issue now is that, like, okay, I know what my standard is, and personally I don't think I have a high standard. I just think, considering what some people are like in this generation, they think it's high when it's quite literally the bare, it's
Bare
not even the
minimum.
bare minimum, it's less than that, and they
Bingo.
still can't reach it. That should say a lot about certain people, but that's
Yeah.
besides the point. Like, with me now, I'm gonna know my standard, right?
Mm.
But then, oh yeah, I'm gonna know my standard, but then I'm gonna settle for less because it's the best that I can get at this
Yeah.
current point in time.
Guys, I do not recommend. I've been in the same boat. You know, it is what it is. I gotta do what I gotta do. It's not gonna fucking work. And I wanna tell you that you're gonna realize that you guys, just because when you're hungry and you're willing to eat some shit food, sometimes that shit food will give you food poisoning. And this is not a good idea to have in the first place. Because let me tell you, I wouldn't say I would have high standards, but my friends, everybody would say high standards. And then and I'm not willing to put them down. I've learned it, and I'm okay. I with not with being single and stuff like that because I've gone below it, and it's a price for that because they were there for a reason. So when you go there, you should be also be ready for things that you're not necessarily prepared for. So guys, I'm not gonna say don't do it because I'm guilty of it, but I'm just
We're
saying
all
that be
guilty.
careful.
At some point in time, we've all been guilty.
Yeah, don't settle. When I say don't settle, I agree. I
Do not
agree.
settle.
But then settling is what is it? No, because okay, I would say that you're saying that do not settle because you have not actually gotten to experience the fun of settling.
The fun.
No,
Like,
Guys,
Wait. What do you mean? Wait. What do
the
you mean the
fun.
fun of
no,
settling?
no, that's what
wait,
that's what I'm
okay,
also
wait,
wondering.
okay. Let me explain this properly. Guys, settling down can actually be okay. I don't know how to explain this to you, but then it can actually work if you get what I mean. Which you see, you're in a relationship now, ne? You're in a
Yeah.
relationship, and you know that when you're in, like, especially when you're in a long distance relationship, you have to like settle down and you have to know that, okay, so I am in a relationship, and for this to work out, I have to be like straight up with this person. Like I have to be like, I don't know how to
think you
explain
understand
this.
what you mean when you say
No.
settle.
Compromise is fine. Compromising in a relationship is fine.
Yeah. But
But-
settling would mean like, okay, there's gonna be like the type of people, nah, who you feel like, okay, if I'm gonna date a person, now they need to respect me and I respect them. They need to treat me as their equal.
Exactly.
We need to, we don't have to have every single thing in common with each other, but we must respect our differences.
So,
Nah.
yes,
But
so
then
settling-
when you settle, you're gonna go for someone who thinks he's better than you.
No.
Exactly, that's what you mean.
Oh,
no, but that's
okay.
what you mean by
But then
settling.
when I wasn't me, I didn't need everything.
No, but it depends. I feel like in some way people do take settling, ne? And what I mean by you have a standard, ne? And the standard is I will not allow anybody to cheat on me and I'll get back together with me and I won't let them disrespect me. Right? You know that is your standard, and anything below that is settling. Ne? No matter what else it is. So, but this person, they bring in money, they bring in joy, they bring in whatever it is, they bring in opportunities. But those are the two things. They
But
disrespect
I feel like that's
you're
when
gonna
morality comes
that
to
and
play.
you
That's
said
when your principles come into the play. Like, okay,
yeah,
no, but at the end of the
the
day,
principles are
at the
definitely
end of the day, which is more important, my morality and my principles, or the guap coming from this person? Exactly.
it depends. I
That's
mean,
what
like
it
some
means.
people
Depends on your situation.
gotta
So,
do
because what if wherever you're at in your life, you kind of need the WAP, the money that's coming from this
But
person.
then what's the point? Like that's when someone says, Uti, I rather have money than be happy. With me, I'd rather be broke and be happy.
Then that means you won't settle. That means
that's not you settling. That's you and your joy. But what if your joy is money? As when they say money doesn't buy happiness, I feel like that's kind of a lie. In some ways, it can if you know what to do with it.
True.
Even
But then you get those people now whose standards are the money.
yeah, true.
and then
That's actually okay. It depends. Some people will say that's fucked up, as in okay, if you get into the relationship and that person's a good person, but then your intention of it was the money, and then when the money goes away, all of that you don't give a shit about goes back to morals and principles. That's you and your mentor, my guy.
True.
guys, this has been an amazing conversation. Let us close off this conversation because we'll run and we'll run and we'll run.
No, because we can go till the
And
AMs here.
and I have to study.
So, guys, this has been a beautiful conversation. We got into do you want to be in a relationship or do you want to be touched? We got into all our own opinions.
No,
about
maybe like the different
relationships.
parts of relationships,
Yeah.
why you get into them.
That yeah.
But we got into quite a bit. Thank you, Nana. Thank you, Tintswalo, for today's conversation. It was quite a chill one.
Yes, and hopefully we will have a lot more since school holidays are coming up, you guys. A lot more conversations with these.
Hopefully, if load shedding doesn't get in the way.
Yeah, Escom, please behave.
Hey, but we'll be going live on Friday at
Yeah,
6
Friday.
p.m.
And if all goes well, I'm pretty sure I will be joining.
Yeah, guys will hope. But yeah, this has been an amazing episode, an amazing discussion with We Perceive as We Are. Thank you. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.